It all kicked off with that HOA newsletter slapped on my front door like a doomsday prophecy. New HOA water resource policy. All community pools under board management, effective immediately. I stood there, coffee in hand, staring at the bold print and burst out laughing, not because it was hilarious, but because it was utterly ridiculous. I own 5 acres of semi-rural land, fenced and gated, with a saltwater pool I built myself. Labeling it a community resource was like claiming the sun as shared street lighting. It didn't add up until I spotted the name behind it, Brenda. Brenda with her sleek silver bob, her ever-present clipboard, and her delusions of suburban royalty. She'd just been bumped up to HOA vice president, which to her was like being anointed queen of the cul-de-sac. Her big push. Community unity, which really meant everything worthwhile falls under my iron fist, starting with my pool. 2 days later, she came strutting down my gravel driveway in a pristine white pantsuit and heels, like she was brokering world peace. She didn't knock, just marched onto my back patio by the turquoise glow of my pool and announced, "Beautiful. We'll schedule open hours for residents next week. We'll need a lifeguard, and you'll have to ditch those personal touches." I blinked, sipped my lemonade from my lounger, and asked if she'd hit her head. "No one's dipping a toe in here," I said coolly. "This is my land. My pool predates your rules by 7 years, and I opted out in writing." Her face froze like I'd just vandalized her prized garden. She whipped out a crumpled map, probably sketched in crayon, and jabbed at my lot. "We believe your pool impacts groundwater for neighbors, making it a shared asset." She grinned like she'd slam-dunked in court. I stood, smiling back. "You're mistaken. Without a geological report and a judge's order, get off my patio." She hated that, but she wasn't one for solo showdowns, so she clicked away in her heels, muttering about defiance and harmony. The next day, a laminated HOA sign popped up at my driveway's end, "Pool access point. Residents welcome." I didn't rage, I chuckled, then made some calls. See, 2 years back, I dived into marine conservation as a hobby. I deepened the pool, added a saline system, and linked up with university aquarists. I housed rescued koi and docile rays from busted illegal tanks. But lately, I'd gone bolder, 2 juvenile blacktip reef sharks, saved from a smuggling bust, with full permits and vet approval. Harmless unless poked, they were educational gems for researchers. The area was locked down tighter than a vault, so Brenda's pool party fantasy had me thrilled. I left the sign up. The trap was set. By Saturday, I was out of town, really parked downhill with binoculars and a GoPro rolling. The HOA crew arrived at noon, Brenda leading with her sidekick, Lisa, short, fiery, always sunburnt. They hauled coolers, chairs, and a speaker blasting cheesy tunes. A few hesitant families from new builds followed, too scared to buck Brenda. She yanked back the pool cover and gasped, a wet choke of shock. The sharks glided beneath the surface like sleek shadows in crystal water lit by blue LEDs. Signs everywhere, Latin names, depth warnings, do not touch. One kid yelled, "Awesome sharks." Brenda spun, heels scorching earth. "Nobody move. This is illegal." That's when animal control rolled in. I tipped them off preemptively. Brenda had filed a complaint that morning about dangerous beasts in a residential pool. But my setup was vetted months ago. Officers checked tablets, circled the perimeter, and shot Brenda a look reserved for flat earthers. All good. Impressive private sanctuary. Actually, best in the county. Brenda went purple, snatched her chair, and stormed off. Half the families bailed, the rest snapped selfies. I strolled up post-retreat, coffee in hand, and waved. "Enjoy the community resource." Brenda froze, glaring like I was Satan in swim trunks. War was on. I'd already planted mines. Her next shot, a cease and desist letter, hand-delivered by her husband, Tom, a guy perpetually on the verge of eternal sighs. He shuffled to my gate, envelope like a bomb. I buzzed him in for the awkward trek. "Hey," he mumbled, avoiding eyes. "Brenda says it's urgent." I ripped it open. Fancy paper, bold threats about community safety, exotic animal risks, and reckless endangerment. Looked like she'd screamed at AI for legal jargon. She drafted this herself? Tom shrugged. Maybe yelled at ChatGPT. I folded it, handed it back. Tell her if she sends more fake law crap, I'll share her trespass video with local news and wildlife boards. They'd love seeing her barbecue by protected sharks. He blinked. Oh, my house cams. For K, Tom sighed in spousal defeat and left. That night, the neighborhood Facebook exploded. Brenda's all-caps screed, "Dangerous sharks in our midst." What the HOA hides? Paranoia fest with blurry pool pics and wild risks like shark escapes and disease outbreaks. It backfired spectacularly. Suburban parents don't fear exotic critters, they flock. Next day, SUVs packed with kids and phones lined my fence, begging for shark views. I hosted safe sessions behind plexiglass, handing out conservation flyers bolded with, "Fully licensed, state code." Brenda spied, then blocked Maria, an ex-Navy mechanic ranting about illegal ops. Maria rolled down her window, shove it, and sped off, kids waving shark fins. By Friday, my pool was the zip code's top EDU spot. Calls from schools, camps, college bio departments for partnerships. I said yes to all. Brenda pivoted, a petition for emergency HOA seizure to avert endangerment. 3 signatures, hers, Lisa's, and Gary, the garage chicken guy. It hit the board. They called a meeting. I showed in a button-down and khakis, binder labeled, "Compliance Docs." Marine facility, clubhouse packed, 30 residents, 5 board members. Brenda paced, waving my flyer like evidence. Not about sharks, about control, safety. One owner can't hoard land with predators endangering kids. Whispers, but he owns it. She demanded seizure for a themed community aquarium. I raised my hand. She glared like I'd proposed anarchy. Assume I'm a guy who bought his land fair, built a legal EDU setup, asked zilch from the HOA. Seizing sets precedent for gardens, ponds, everything private. Silence. I slid the binder, photos, permits, state praise. A retired judge board member. No basis for complaint. It's a community asset. Brenda's jaw unhinged. She mumbled corruption and bolted. Claps followed. I grinned home. But morning brought green pool water, fertilizer dumped overnight. Pumps clogged, pH trashed, sharks lethargic. 8 hours with a vet stabilized them, barely. Game over for defense. Brenda wanted war, I'd scorch earth. Police report for endangerment and damage. Forensic vid analysis. Then expansion, new tank, redundant filters, sharksanctuary.org with live cam and donations. Raised funds for more rescues fast. Neighborhood rallied, EDU signs, free snacks for tours. Brenda spiraled, frantic posts claiming demonic rituals, handing out Bibles at recycling like shark wards. Hilarious, but personal, she nearly killed my sharks to win. Quiet fell, her lawn overgrown, curtains drawn. Not defeat, regrouping. City inspector knocked, anonymous tip on zoning and exotics. I handed a binder thick as a novel. He toured, found 0 issues, asked for his kid's school tour. Yes. Neighbor Steve knocked with beers, Brenda pushed a nuisance petition. I told her poisoning wildlife's the real nuisance. She's losing allies. 3 days on, a plain van parked opposite, 2 guys surveilling. Week-long pattern traced to an out-of-state PI firm via buddy sleuthing, HOA litigation pros. Brenda's desperation. I mocked, Lab coat walks, fake samples, red dye launches. Van vanished. Silence brewed bigger. Neighborhood Unity Day block party with a splash event at the shared pool, her stealth seizure. I prepped a projector on my house side, edited reel, the true saga of Shark Gate, trespass, sabotage traced to her via store cam, inspector's clean bill, PI van. At noon, as crowds munched, it played. Cheery voiceover on one woman's control obsession gone wild. Laughter turned gasps at Brenda's antics. She arrived, floral dressed, saw the crowd glued. Applause for me, aimed at her. Pale to purple, she fled. Video hit 2.3 million views. Interviews, sponsors rolled. Brenda quit the HOA. House for sale. Post quit, rogue acts, toppled shark mailbox, vanished trash cans with hazard notes, mothballs. I amped security, night cams, spotlights. Then her drone buzzed overhead, filming. I countered with my anti-drone, snagged it down legally, card showed house/window zooms. Police stalking report, cooperative. They toured. Shark Week blew up, tours, costumes, Zoom bios, plushies, wholesome hit. Brenda watched from afar, a gentle ghost-like. I approached. She stared, drove off. Twist, her house listed. I bought via agent tip, gutted my yard, perfect for an EDU center. Lobby displays, touch pools, gutted her symmetric hell into bright nonprofit. Partnerships bloomed, schools, grants, VR rooms. Gala with jazz, seafood, mayor chats. Book deal, Shark Tank Wars. Reporter asked if she'd apologize. Nope. Weeks later, her letter, you win. Use it wisely. War ended, not forgiven, but admitted. Center thrived. Internships, sensory hours, foster programs. Kid Jamal's shark paper won state. HOA mellowed, potlucks shared absurd tales. I brought shark cookies. Ran into Tom at hardware, thanks for ending it without becoming her. Rare nod. Sharks helped. Year later, Doc on the pool battle aired, ego versus resolve. I don't fear copycats when I build unshakable good. Brenda sought control, gifted purpose. Her flamingo guards the gate, plaque a memory of HOA tyranny. Future Brendas, beware, beyond tanks lies justice and closure, gliding, thriving, all.